Hey, what is up, guys? So, continuing the tradition of watching a scary movie during the month of October, I recently saw this really good movie on Shudder. It's called The Ugly Stepsister. Now, this film, it's pretty much a retelling of the classic story Cinderella, only it's like a lot bloodier and a lot crazier. So the story mostly revolves around a girl named Elvira. Now, she comes from a poor family, and her mom, Rebecca, she pretty much marries a guy named Otto, and he has a really beautiful daughter named Agnes. The problem is, Otto, he suddenly just dies at the beginning of the movie. So Elvira's mom, Rebecca, she's pretty much forced to adopt his daughter, Agnes. Technically, Elvira, she's supposed to be the ugly one, but in my honest opinion, she's not even that ugly. She's just someone who has a few facial imperfections, but that's about it. She wasn't even that ugly of a person to begin with. Now, I know beauty is a really subjective term. You know, everyone has their own definition of what's beautiful and what's not. But I mean, if you put Agnes and Elvira together, yes, Agnes is for sure the more physically attractive person. So the main plot of the movie, because there's such a poor family, Elvira's mom is trying to marry off her daughter to Prince Julian because the prince is super rich and stuff. So if she's able to marry her daughter off to him, they pretty much made it. But the thing is, she knows her daughter is not attractive at all. So in order for her daughter to even have a chance at marrying the prince, her mom pretty much makes her go through all these really painful plastic surgery operations. And I'm not gonna lie, watching Elvira get plastic surgery is one of the funniest moments in the movie. Yeah, it's really painful for her, but for me, I thought it was a really funny scene. When you watch the movie, you're gonna laugh out loud. So throughout the movie, Elvira pretty much gets her appearance all fixed up. Now this next part's a spoiler alert, so if you don't want to listen to it, just skip this next 10 to 20 seconds. Not only does Elvira go through plastic surgery, but she even resorts to eating a tapeworm egg. Once the egg hatches and the tapeworm is inside her, she's trying to lose a lot of weight, while at the same time eating as much food as she wants because she knows the tapeworm is gonna eat everything up. So these are extreme lengths that she's willing to go to just to marry the prince and become rich. And throughout the film, the mom and the daughter, they treat Agnes with a lot of cruelty. And they know that Agnes is really pretty. So they want to make sure that she doesn't end up at the ball, so she doesn't end up marrying the prince. This is essentially a Cinderella story, except they just added the twist of the whole ugly stepsister scenario going on. The movie itself is actually a lot more bloody than I thought it would be, but towards the end of the movie, it gets really insane. I'm not going to spoil here what happens, but let's just say it involves something with the tapeworm inside of her, and Elvira even harms herself as a last resort in order to be able to marry the prince. If you guys want to watch this movie, it is currently on Shudder for free, so it is the perfect month to watch this horror type of comedy movie. I wouldn't even categorize it as a horror movie, but at the same time I do because there are horror elements in it. And at the same time, it's pretty much a satire of the classic Cinderella story. And you know what? The soundtrack was also really good. I enjoyed listening to the music while watching this film. It just added to the overall tone. The acting was great by everybody. I thought it was a really twisted take on the Cinderella story, and I thought it was brilliantly done. Thank you guys again for watching this movie review. Until the next movie, peace.